the announcement is this. I'm going to be doing a Google Hangout next Friday. Not today, but next Friday. And that particular Google Hangout will be focused on primarily one thing. I'm asking everyone to bring their own personal rap to this particular Google Hangout.
I'm going to expose myself on YouTube. I'm going to make a YouTube video embarrassing myself.
Thank
you very much, ladies and gentlemen. Right now, I got to tell you about the fabulous, most groovy
Gman. Gman.
You know you're breaking the law right now.
I will stomp a mud hole in you, sir.
I am not playing Dragnauct.
My name is Gman.
You got the audacity. You're going to jail. You got the audacity.
My name is Gman.
You got the audacity. That's all I got to say. You got the audacity. I stole $3,000. You got the audacity. You got the audacity. Because you don't got no evidence.
My name is Gman. My name is Gman.
Stupid can this guy be?
My name is Gman. My name is Gman.
You can't beat me in fighting. You can't beat me in chemistry. You can't beat me in biology. You can't even walk better than me. You can't outrun me. Dude, you can't even out-talk me. Come to Jersey. Come to Jersey. Come to Jersey. Come to Jersey. Come to Jersey City.
Gman.
You got the audacity. You're going to jail. You got the audacity.
My name is Gman.
You got the audacity. That's all I got to say. You got the audacity. I stole $3,000. You got the audacity. You got the audacity. Because you don't got no evidence.
My name is Gman. My name is Gman.
Stupid can this guy be?
My name is Gman. My name is Gman.
You can't beat me in fighting. You can't beat me in chemistry. You can't beat me in biology. You can't even walk better than me. You can't outrun me. Dude, you can't even out-talk me. Come to Jersey. Come to Jersey. Come to Jersey. Come to Jersey. Come to Jersey City.
Hello, everyone, and welcome to another edition of Preaching to the Choir Ministries.
I'm muted. I'm not saying anything important, by the way. In a minute, I'll figure out that I'm muted. I'm just kidding. I muted the stream. There's actually sound. I fooled you all. Ha ha. Folks, it's definitely not a baby carrot. I have my water with me today. Instead of me going to go grab it in the middle of the stream, I have it here. That's good. Okay, so by the way, can y'all tell that I moved my mic? Where are we at? We're in part 6. We're in part 6 of the saga. This is amazingly enough a condensed version of the events that transpired from December 24th, 2018 to about technically July 2019. And so we've been covering for the last few episodes the things that occurred from about January 24th, 2019 to about the end of the month, you might as well say. And so we have Super Horror Energy. This is not a game. Shut up.
I'm not really convinced that secondhand smoke is a real thing. Gary beat the corpus cavernosum flu, that's why he ain't afraid of COVID.
Isn't that the... You know what? I'm going to leave that alone. Anyway, the thing that we've been watching mostly is Gman's kind of end of the week freak out. For the last, I'd say, 2 parts. Mostly Gman just kind of freaking out at Shani. Shani coming in and obliging his requests for this public confrontation and then chastising her for making her business public. A little bit of irony there. And of course now we know that Gman has kind of gone back on that to say, well, if there's something in public that is still none of your business. Even though him and Spoken said that specifically, almost verbatim to Shani. It's almost as if there's a double standard, which everyone else should live a certain way, but Gman himself can do and say whatever he wants because he's special. Gman's special. So, Shani made her own kind of long ranty video, also using religion to back her case as well. So that's what this video is here. We're going to actually see, because this occurred before that confrontation. Shani decided that she was going to take this up with the big man upstairs. She was going to say, G-Man, look, you're in high treason with God now. You misleading me into thinking that you were using those funds that I gave you for one purpose when in fact it was for another. So it is a godly matter now. How interesting. How very interesting.
What up, people? Freedom!
More live viewers for the intro than G-Man has ever had for any live stream.
It's actually a pretty good point.
Shannon for Christ here. So I'm here to make a stand and prove with scripture that what G-Man is doing in front of the whole body of Christ, by the way, to prove what G-Man is doing to me right now is thievery according to the Lord thy God, Jesus Christ. And not only that, he's not listening to Jesus what he should be doing right now. He's in high treason. He's no longer welcomed in my house. He's not welcomed. According to Jesus, this is what you should be doing when you're not welcomed in someone's house.
So this is January 25th, 2019. She has previously told G-Man that he is not welcome and he needs to get the fuck out. Now, this is something that we took up with Nate. Say, hey man, you know what's going on here? What's going on? Can she just, that there has to be some type of law? You just can't kick somebody out and just go, fuck you, I don't like you. And they leave. No. Actually, it does fall under squatters law. So to some degree, there was talk of squatters law, and there was also another law that was very similar to that, but it wasn't squatters law, and I can't remember it specifically, but it had to do with the fact that if you've stayed in a residence, doesn't matter if you're paying rent or not, for X amount of days, then guess what? You are at least a temporary, a transient resident there, and that you can't be removed up until a certain point. So technically, legally, G-Man did have a certain amount of time to get out of there. She couldn't just immediately oust him. So he did have a defense, some type of defense. I'll say that. And most of us knew that. I think Shani was overreacting, because Shani never overreacts to anything, and she was informed by a few people that no, you can't just kick him out. I absolutely agree that I wouldn't want that motherfucker in my house, but you invited him in. You told him at some point that he could stay in that residence, even though technically you legally don't have that ability. But through Jason, because he was he was indisposed, we'll say that, you were speaking for him. Because technically, yes, in Colorado, common law marriage is still technically a marriage.
And whosoever shall not receive you, nor hear
Good morning.
your word.
Freedom!
more live viewers than Shani has OnlyFans members. I almost puked thinking that she has OnlyFans members.
Yeah, don't remind me.
You depart out of that house or that city, shake the dust off your feet. I'm telling you, you don't belong in that house. As a sister of Christ, you're in high treason with Jesus Christ. You don't belong in that house. That is my house. That is Rev's house. That is our house. You decided to break into our
Her Italian's coming out.
You decided to move yourself in there without any permission from Rev. You decided to do contract work.
This video of the Shanster makes me wanna bust a. Ah, hell, I can't even finish the lie.
Yes, let's not do that.
On that house without any permission from Rev. You didn't get any, you didn't have any written agreement to come into my house. You didn't have any tenant written agreement. You did not have any written agreement to do anything with it.
So it's interesting that Shani's saying this, because at the very beginning of this whole ordeal, she didn't mention any of this stuff. After Shani began watching us talk about it after the fact, then she started bringing these things up. And I know all of you are really shocked by that. I'm pretty sure all of you who didn't actually watch this live are just in awe that Shani just sort of co-opted things that we all pointed out that was obvious. But so Shani did give him permission at some point to go in that house. How did he get the fucking address in the first place? How did he know where stuff was? How did he know what to pay for? Like, there are certain things that he would have had to have known in order to acquire the house. And if you saw in the last episode, Rev is not all there. He's still, this is his detox, you know, his cold turkey detox from alcohol, thanks to Shani. So him not all there at all. So Shani is right. Technically, she doesn't really have any legal recourse for what she can and can't do here, because it's technically not her house. It belongs to Rev. So Rev allowed Shani a lot of leeway to do whatever the hell she want. So there was a tacit permission involved, because it was more of, hey, babe, our brother Gman needs a house. We're not using that house. You want to give it to Gman? Yeah, sure. Yeah, okay. And that's it is what it is. And then from there, Shani took it away. Now, what she is saying here now and on the 25th is that, well, it's Rev's house, and technically he would have had to been the one to do that. And that's from the fact that Gman didn't really tell her when he was moving in. He had the location of the house and he went and scoped it out, you know, some Uber back and forth. But the fact that he decided that he was just going to move in there before any of that stuff, well, that was kind of what expected. So yes, that part is true. But supposedly, Gman and Drit Lovers pointing this out, Gman went to a neighbor to break in the house. Yes, I know how that sounds. I know how it looks. Yes. Gman did not want to wait to get any type of paperwork, no documentation, nothing that you would actually need to show that you own the house or you should reside in the house legally. Not because he's an idiot. He's an idiot. Okay? Keep that in mind. Keep that in mind. He goes to a neighbor's house and says, Shanty, I can stay in his house. Here, I'm putting on the phone. And so he puts him on speakerphone. He has Shani and Rev on speakerphone, and they're talking to the neighbor. Yeah, we said he can stay there. Can you help him get in the house? Not get a locksmith, not, actually something that a normal person would do. He takes an implement, and he breaks in the house. I mean, he repairs it, supposedly, but he breaks in the house with the help of the neighbor. Because that's what a normal person does. That's what a rational person does. That's what a thinking adult 40-something-year-old man does. That's not trying to steal. Anyway, that's where we're at. So this is Shani sort of recounting some events, but then inserting other pieces of information that she hadn't said before any of us said anything publicly.
is me offering the house. I didn't tell you to move in there. You did it on your own accord. You're in high treason with God. You need to depart and do what you're supposed to do as a Christian man. Wipe the dust off your feet and grow the fuck up. As simple as that. Go get a job, G-Man. Not everyone's going to suck your dick for the rest of your life.
Wow. Wow. Wait. Hold on. Whoa. Shanny. Them's fighting words, okay? Shanny, you just can't say shit like that. That is extremely offensive. How dare you tell G-Man to get his broke ass up and go get a job? Shanny, my dear. You created this monster. I'm just kidding. Oh, let me read this off. Pufflufgus says, if I ever found myself dependent on Shanny and Rev in any way, I wouldn't hesitate to bust out the capsule of the last resort and make my peace. Goddamn. No, I'm not sure at what point you have to stop and say, oh, hold on for a second. Hold on. Now you want him to get a job. He's been living off of your teat since last September, technically, of 2018. This man has been living off your tit. So now you're removing the tit and you want him to get a job. Shanny, my dear. You enabled him. How was he able to sustain himself since then without your help? I absolutely agree he should get off his ass and go do something. I agree he should get off his ass and go wash it at some point. You too. But, Shanny, you helped that. This is something that you helped create. Now all of a sudden, you want him to stand up and be a man. If you were so concerned about that, you would have told his ass to get the fuck out of the house until some paperwork was sent over. But you didn't care.
I can't wait for the Sub-Zero Saga. His victory was flawless fatality.
I still need to find a video. I barely was curating videos this week. I need to actually get on that. But this is amazing to me. This is and just seeing it again brings a warmness to my bosom. That might be cardiac arrest. I don't know. Who knows? But it is hilarious that Shanny, the person who enabled this man for like the last 6 months, now wants him to all of a sudden, out of the blue, stand up and be a man. All just now's the perfect time for you to, it's storming outside, for him to stand up on his two feeble legs and do something. Really, Shanny, that's awesome. I'm glad you're now encouraging him.
Not everyone's gonna take care of you like they're your mommy. And I'm certainly not going to. Especially since you displaced money. And showed what kind of stored you are with money. You think I'm gonna give you a house for that? You think I'm gonna give you a house after you bite in the hand that's fed you?
And as some of you are identifying in the chat, yes, the verse that she's trying to quote about dusting the shoes, getting the dust off your feet and all that house and stuff, those are metaphors. Those are clearly metaphors, but Shanny's understanding of the Bible is akin to G-Man's understanding of the Bible, if you didn't realize.
No contracts will be signed for tenancy or to have the house. You are not welcome in my house. Get out of my house. And according to PA state law, you have 10 days to get out of the house. Consider this as a verbal and written agreement, because I have your phone all over.
Yeah, no, that's not how that works, but okay. Yeah, he does have, I think it was actually more than 10 days, but yes, now she's acknowledging that he can't just be kicked out of the house immediately.
Freedom!
Gman didn't care that Rev was laid up with seizures and was out of his mind. He still took the gift of the house, no questions asked, thinking face.
And Holy Spackle's right, because Holy Spackle was around during this time, and she, myself, and many others were talking about this, and that it was interesting that Shanny was pretty much using Rev. Now, there was also the allegation, well, the circumstance, I'll say that, where Shanny was bragging about having sex with Rev, but he's clearly indisposed and not able to consent, or barely able to consent, we'll say that. And so, G-Man did a lot of defending of Rev. He said, Rev's fine, there's nothing wrong with him. Now, when you hear him talk about Rev, Rev can't think, Rev's not all there, saying to take advantage. It's the people that they don't like. And you'll notice this with Shanny and Rev. They'll pick and choose when they want to use reality, when they want to dabble back into the realm of the real. Before, Shanny didn't care about any of the stuff that we were saying about G-Man. Like, hey, you're letting this fucking dude stay in your house and you're paying him and you tell him to sell your shit. Like, are you fucking stupid? Why? Why would you ever want him around anyone's property? He doesn't know how to act right. There's a reason he has nothing in life. And he's trying to get shit from people. There's a reason. But, same thing with G-Man. Have you seen how unstable Shanny is? So, all these things were known. But so now, the people that Shanny and G-Man have scorned, now they've become useful. Now the things that a lot of us were saying have entered into the fray. And you'll see it slowly start to come up. It's like, oh shit, you know what? They're having moments of clarity. No, they're not. They're not having moments of clarity here. They're repeating things that we've said in our hangouts at that time. That's it. That is it. We had conversations on Nate's channel. We had conversations on my channel. They heard a lot of stuff. And so the stuff that you hear Shanny talking about, especially for the tenancy and all that kind of stuff, that's stuff that she heard from Nate's channel.
My house. Out now, according to Jesus Christ. You are not welcomed. Get out. Take your shit and leave. Thank you for taking all the shit that was in the house of value, though. I'm sure it was happy for you, since you pushed yourself in that whole situation and stole from us. You don't own that place. I'm telling you to get out. I'm telling you it is mine. It's not yours.
Mine.
Get out. Leave.
Get out.
I'm not really convinced that secondhand smoke is a real thing.
Of course she's unstable. Every other land animal that weighs that much has twice as many legs.
Who's your buddy, man? No, you know what? No comment. No. You in timeout. You in timeout. Who's your buddy?
You're in high treason with God.
Phone on the charger. So the second I go live, I'm gonna get hit up with 50,000 fucking messages. But anyway, all right. Yep. So I got tagged in something on Discord, and I did not bring it up. I thought I had it in the other tab. Okay, there we go. There we go. 'Cause this is funny. So, oh, yeah, it's getting. Is it raining again? Is it really raining again? Come on! Are you serious? Okay, we're gonna get through this. So, y'all might not be able to see the top part. So, let me see if I can do. That just made it worse. Okay. So this is the main body of G-Man, what he put out 2 days ago on GTV network. Dear atheists, my time is very valuable. That's a grammatically correct, complete sentence. Oh hell, we're off to a good start this morning. So I'll make this very quick. Not the best sentence, but okay. You are the ones who want me to come to your channels, I have already said many times I'm not interested. You are the ones making money off of me and others, and we have said we think you are a waste of time. If I agree to come to your boring channels, you must pay me for my time. No ifs or buts about it. Exclamation point, exclamation point, exclamation point. I go to channels that don't have the reputation of trolling other people for free. Most Christians and even some atheists agree going to troll channels is a waste of time. If you can't afford the fee, get a job like most adults do. The Bible doesn't have nice things to say about lazy people. Jesus is Lord. Now, a little bit of irony here with Shani replying to this, given her employment history has been, well, non-existent over the last few years. Shani for Christ shared, ditto if you want me on your show, $500 flat fee depending on your viewership. Now, if you have a larger viewership, I presume that fee goes up substantially. You want money, honey, you better pay me for my time. Same with Jason. They want to get paid. They want to get paid. Don't we all, though? Don't we all? We get paid. I'll tell y'all right now. About to pull up my PayPal in the other window and see how much money Who's Your Buddy has donated to the Cheddar Biscuits, and actually not even the Cheddar Biscuits, just the Lobster Biscuits fund, because that's gonna be fun. Because I'm definitely going to transfer that and use it for that, because evidently that upsets Gman, and I'm going to keep mentioning that I'm using super chat monies and shit like that for Lobster Biscuits because that pisses him off. So you're gonna hear a lot more of that lately. Ooh, there's quite a bit of money in there. Okay, cool, awesome. Okay, so where did we leave off? Now, mind you, a lot of irony with what G-Man said. A lot of irony, especially considering he was unemployed during this whole ordeal, where Shani is now using the Bibli to prove her point that G-Man is in high treason with God because he refused to get a job, he refused to take responsibility, he refused to have any of the trappings of a man. What I would argue that, well, Shani, he's always sort of had that issue. He had employment of some type, maybe not gainful employment, maybe not the best employment, but hell, a lot of people don't. So you know what? He's just an average American in that respect, just to be fair. But you had been his sugar mama without him giving no sugar for quite some time. Since last September of 2018. You've been giving this guy money. It's only a little bit of irony now where G-Man and Shani have an issue with other people getting money. Dragnauct, you owe us $500 for making us wait every day while you get your coffee. Don't offer us some. If you want to, look, if you're in the area of Houston, I always take people out for drinks. So if you're around that's where I pay you back. That's where I pay you back. If you're around my area in Houston, you come to me. Then I'll pay you for your drinks. Might barbecue if I'm feeling like it.
Nor thieves, nor coveters, nor drunkards, no verbal abusers, which you are, nor swindlers, which you are. You're a thief.
Did she just call G-Man a swindler? Really?
Wait, let's see. Do you not know that the wicked will not inherit the kingdom of God? Do not be deceived, neither sexually immoral, nor idolaters, nor adulterers, no men who submit to their...
Tatted Jedi says, drag, that is only like 50 cents per pound for Shane. Oh, God.
To or perform homosexual acts, nor thieves, which you are, nor the greedy, which you are. You want to get 20 extra grand from me. Don't you think you got enough?
Uh-oh. Shani, G-Man has been bilking you for some money? You don't say. This will become very important later. Hint, hint, hint.
Nor drunkards. You're not a drunkard. nor verbal abusers. Oh, everyone knows you're high on verbal abuse. Nor swindlers. You're trying to swindle me, too. Will inherit the kingdom of God. And that is what some of you were, but you were washed. You were sanctified. You were justified in the name of the Lord Jesus Christ by the Spirit of our God. You have a huge scandal going on. You're a thief because you're taking what's not yours right now, and you're trying to claim that it's yours. And I'm telling you, it's not yours. Get out of my house. It's not yours. You were offered it. There was no papers signed. There was no legal agreement. You just took it because you thought you could have it because it was offered to you without any papers being signed. You just did it. And you did things to the house without any agreement, any written agreement.
So the problem with following this saga from two very unreliable people, like don't get me wrong, right here I empathize a bit more with Shani, but that does not mean that I agree with everything that she says nor believe everything that she says, because Shani has been shown to be a habitual liar. This Shani does not have any problem fabricating things whole cloth. She does it constantly. In fact, there's an entire video that I have on my channel. Shani doesn't attack nor defame people or something like that. I forgot the title. But you get the point, where you can see where she's simply lying about things. And then, to make matters worse, she made a response video to it and started lying more. But it's like, Shani, we have video. Just like you lied about your treatment by the Boulder, Colorado police, and then went back and tried to gaslight everybody as if we didn't watch it. So Shani is more than likely lying. And it's not legally her house. Now, technically, in Colorado, common law marriage is still recognized as marriage. So I'm not sure as far as property and how that goes, but she has some sway on what happens because, well, Jason gives her permission. Now, again, you can make an argument that Jason is kind of indisposed right now, so how much leniency can one give with that sort of scenario? I'm not sure. I'm not going to play e-lawyer like some people, but whatever. The house legally belongs to Jason. It belonged to his mother, who had passed away, and so Shani, trying to be the good Christian woman that she is, said, "Hey, G-Man, we have a house up in PA, over in Scranton. Would you like to have that house?" And so he got slap happy and just said, "Fuck it, I'm going to take the house since you offered it." So it's like me saying, "Hey, I'm planning on getting rid of this sedan. It's been just kind of sitting here. How much would you be interested in buying it?" And so that'd be the equivalent. G-Man coming by, breaking into the car, and then taking off the car, because he's for some reason thinks that that's cool. You can just break into places and that's acceptable. I really struggle on trying to get inside of his mindset with this, because he had to actually break in the house. And I want to really stress that point, that so many red flags here. So many red flags for a normal person. For a regular ass person. If you have to break in the house, maybe the house not yours. Just maybe. Maybe there's an issue there. Not for G-Man. The fact that he has no problem doing stuff like that is what really bothers me. If he can rationalize those sorts of actions, then hell, he can do anything. He could break into my house and say, "Oh, well, Dragnauct said that I come down to Texas, he'd give me something to eat. I guess I'll just take it out of his refrigerator." Anything he'll rationalize, because he's demented and delusional. But Shani, for some reason, could not see that before from his previous antics, and so thought, "Hey, you know what? This is a stable, reliable person to give a home to. Yeah, I'll just give. Yeah. That sounds good. That sounds good." So many and it's not just from one side. So many red flags from both people. So many red flags. But hey,
Agreement. You did things on your own. You've been taking advantage of people. And you know what? I hope to God you are exposed just as much as Mario Bryson. I hope everyone knows what kind of piece of shit you are and what kind of you
Oh,
are.
don't worry,
You
people know.
refusing to leave that house as a believer in Christ when you're told to leave? High treason. You're told to wipe the dust off your feet. You're not told to stay there. You're not told to try to fight it. You're told to leave, to wipe the dust off your feet. That's a pretty quick way of leaving when you're not welcome, and you're not welcome in my house.
Notice how she keeps saying my house, and then she says that
You
legally
honestly
it's not
think
hers,
just
it's
because
Jason's.
I offered you it, you can automatically take it without any papers being signed or any legal agreement? Do you think you can get away with it? Thievery. You're not welcome in my house. Get out. You're a thief. You're being a thief. According to Jesus Christ, you're being a thief because you're not welcome there. You're not welcome there. You're a thief and a swindler and a liar. And because of this, I'm glad this happened. Because of this, I will no longer invest with anyone online ever again.
Obviously, that was a lie. She's back with Gman, and she's back kissing his ass and giving him money. Evidently, she didn't learn her lesson at all.
And put any investment in them. Because y'all can't be fucking trusted with money. Y'all can't be trusted with other people's things. Instead, you swindle people. It's not the money that matters. It's not. It's the premise. You know, it's
about principalities.
I'm trying to find a word. Excuse me. I have fibro fog. So if I can't find a word that's fit into what I'm trying to say, I apologize, but my brain's not working very well right now.
When was her brain working?
And I can't help it.
It wouldn't be a shanty stream without shanty victimhood. Crocodile tears. It would. You can't have a video with Shanny that's more than 6 minutes long without her breaking down in tears as to why the world hates her, why her body hates her, why gravity hates her, all that kind of shit.
But he's in high treason right now, and someone needs to rebuke him and tell him
she has fibro fog.
He's stealing. He's stealing. Stealing from someone who helped him out so much.
It's kind of like mommy brain, but except mommy brain exists.
Stop trying to swindle people. He's threatening the police on me for what? Giving you a place to stay?
I'm having fat amnesia. I can't think anymore.
You a place to eat?
I can't remember who I am.
You took it and forced it upon me? I should have called the police on you when you broke into my house.
So why didn't you?
Could have done. I should have called then. Because you took advantage. But no more.
Again, another red flag when he broke into the house. Why didn't you say, hey, no, fucker, why are you doing that?
No more. You are not taking advantage of me anymore. We're going to be calling the water company and the electric company. We got to get all the things shut off. We got to get a hold of a lawyer and get him out of the house. And the reason for him to get out of the house is really simple. There was no contract signed and he broke in the house. And he's been a disturbance to the neighbors. He doesn't belong in my house.
Does not belong.
Period. He took it without anything being signed. He took it. And as a dumbass, I didn't do anything about it.
Like a dumbass.
Like, okay, he's a believer in Christ. But you know what? You can't do that to people anymore. You can't trust people enough. You can't be like, okay, he's a believer in Christ. There you go. I don't think Gman's a believer in Christ, y'all. I don't think he cares about God. Because if he cared about God, he would get out of the house like I told him to.
This is something really fun I like to watch certain YouTubers do. They'll take lines from other people and then they'll try and use it against like that person. Like this is something that Gman does to avoid any criticism. And you'll watch him do it. It's really funny. If he does something, let's say if he just, I don't know, starts diverting funds away from someone's GoFundMe because he wants attention, he wants glory, he doesn't want to be left out, whatever his motivation, doesn't matter. He starts purposely diverting funds away and into his personal PayPal, Cash App, whatever. And when people point out how shady that looks for anybody to do, he then tries to split them off into two different camps. Now, mind you, the reason he does this is so that he can skate any criticism against his character. It actually does not matter. If you're in the so-called Christian category, right? And I say so-called for a reason, you would accept that what he's doing is biblical, or he'll call you not a Christian. You're obviously an apostate. You're a fake Christian, right? Because a Christian would know that his heart is pure, even if it's not. And if you're an atheist, well, you're not a Christian, so he doesn't care. You see how he avoids criticism? There you go. There you go. That's the only reason he does that, is because he cannot ever. Gman could stab a baby. And Veckel and Spoken and Oneness would, oh, that baby was evil. Oh, only true Christians know why I stabbed that baby. And that type of bullshit. Here, Shanny's doing it to him. It's fucking stupid. It has nothing to do with your religious beliefs. You're a shitty person. It's shitty people come in all stripes, all shapes and sizes, from all around the world. But for some weird ass reason, these yahoos think that being a Christian precludes them from being shitty people. No, not at all.
He would be like, you know what? I did what I did. Sorry. I'm leaving. That's what a true believer would be. And not try.
You'll hear that a lot. A true believer, a real Christian.
Harshly. I mean, you break into someone's house and you take their goods and services to pay for things that I didn't give you permission to, or Rev definitely didn't give you permission to. The actual owner of the house.
Now, the actual owner of the house, my house, get out of my house, is my house, not your house, my house. Rev's the actual owner of the house. Okay.
And then you won't expect to charge me for something I didn't even give permission to do? That's extortion. That's embezzlement.
That's not embezzlement.
And that's thievery. That shows how deceptive you are.
Keep in mind, I said this last stream, Shanny had been watching streams that we were doing on Nate's channel, because this was kind of one of those weird opportunities where we got a chance to kind of say, okay, you know, if these two idiots actually took this to court, what would it look like? What would be the charges? And so we would play little, you know, clips and stuff of what Shanny and Gman would say to one another and try to piece together like what actually happened and say, oh, okay, you know what, Gman, that sounds like he's trying to extort Shanny. Oh, okay. And so Shanny hears that, and then she carries it over to her videos. And that's why you'll hear her say it, because before, when you heard her yelling and screaming and shit like this, she wasn't saying any of this stuff at all. Her tune has changed a bit, right? It depends on what she hears from other people. And you'll hear that too, even recently, with the shit that G-Man's saying. Oh, now you need to pay her for appearances. Again, she just picks up whatever she needs along the way to create a nice, wonderful, interesting story for herself.
That shows what kind of believer you are, because it's more about the money than it is actually doing the right thing, like a true believer would do. A true believer gives freely. A true believer doesn't take what's not theirs and continues to take it without the person's permission, because that's thievery, and then demand more upon what they're taking and stealing from the individual. Treason. High treason is what Gman's committing right now. High treason. And it's because of greed. Because he wants what I have.
What I have. So there's a reason I played the video in part 1 that shows Gman's sort of, we'll call them antics when it comes to people's possessions, people's money. There's a clear trend with Gman. He has little to nothing in life. Very, very little. And Gman has found ways that other people will be, I'll say, enticed to give him things that he doesn't deserve. And so, through these machinations, Gman has found a way to make up for what he can't attain himself. Because Gman will never save enough money for a house. Gman can never earn enough to pay the property tax, any of that sort of stuff. So this is an opportunity for him to capitalize on the late. Let's see, Mr. United for the Children says he took goods and services from the house. Is that what he did take stuff from the I don't know how he would take services from the house, but maybe the house came with some services we don't know about. Who knows? Label and the trappings of a so-called Christian brother in need and yada 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 yada. Unfortunately, these are all ill-gained. Let's see, buddy from the outside chat says, Gary, this is your life. You're pathetic. You fail, sir. Yes,
He showed himself not to be a good steward with money. He doesn't deserve that house. The person who deserves that house is someone who's a good steward with their money. Someone who actually believes in Jesus Christ. Someone who actually has faith and takes care of people and not takes from people. I've never seen Gman give
because only Christians can own houses.
Other than take. All I've seen is him taking. Oh, I'm poor. Bitch, we all have been poor.
Actually, no. Rev has never been poor. Who is we all? I have been poor. I have had to choose between gas money and food. I have had to do that on multiple occasions. I have been destitute from a natural disaster destroying everything. Fucking job, school, home. Like that's no, bitch. No. No, don't put not we all. No. You have been broke at certain times in your life, absolutely, and I'm aware of that. Not Rev, not at all, not ever. As far as we know, never. He's never had to work for anything. That's kind of a sign that he's never been in that position. So no, don't say that. Please be very accurate with what you depict, ma'am. I know you kind of speaking in general, but you know the guy sitting over there drooling out of his fucking face is precluded from this, from the actual people who have to work for a living and get an education and do things and actually contribute to society, unlike you.
We all have been poor.
We all.
Dragnauct, you have my full permission to put this on your channel and anyone else who wants to put this on your channel. In fact, I invite you to please put this video on all your channels.
Now, does any of y'all find that odd? It's really strange. Have you heard Shani recently talking about her content being on my channel and her having a big issue with it? Does anybody else find that last piece strange? Now, Shani, why would you have an issue now with me putting it on my channel when you're giving me permission to do it here? Oh, you forgot that you gave me permission to put... Of course you did, Shani. Because you delete your shit. You forgot that you told me that I could put this on here. So, it's real strange, Shani, when you get upset when I'm obliging your requests. Oh, folks. Bet y'all didn't expect that shit now, did you? Got him! No takesies backsies. Doesn't work that way. So, where's your argument now? Where's the argument? You want other people to put it on their channel. Okay. I'm pretty sure they can oblige as well.
So everyone can find out who G-Man is and expose him for the thief.
You're telling me to put the content on my channel with the express purpose of exposing G-Man. Okay. I will have... How about this, Shanny? I'll make an entire series called the Eviction Saga just to do that. How about that, Shanny? How about that? Would that be acceptable? Because that's what it sounds like you want me to do. In fact, this whole series, G-Man, was inspired by this request. If you don't remember this. You didn't realize that, did you? The Summer of G-Man 2020, inspired by Shanny. Congratulations. You've been drag clapped. Not G-slapped, it's drag clapped. That sounds dumb when people say that. Does anybody else get a kick out of when he starts singing his own theme song? Oh yeah, I got a haircut. Like, what the fuck was that? What the fuck did y'all... How many of y'all saw that video? I think I reviewed it last week. And he was like, I think I got a new haircut. I was like, I hope you got COVID, bitch. Like, that's what I'm thinking. And then he starts going into his own theme song. Like, what? Who are you? Who the fuck does that? At no point, when I get a fucking fresh haircut, I take selfies like a regular fucking hipster in the 2020s. Like that. Who sings their own theme song to a rap that they can't actually be on beat with? What's in the fuck? What? Excuse me? I see why you don't have friends. You're a fucking weirdo. Goddamn. You special kid? Jesus. I see why the Black Hebrew Israelites don't like to fuck with you. Like, who the fuck is this guy? Anyway, I just thought about that. I had a little rant. I was like, the fuck? I think I've heard that theme song somewhere else. I don't know. Maybe a game on the NES or something? I don't fucking know, man. It's just weird. Like, it's so fucking strange. Children do it all the time. Yeah, like it's a... My 9-year-old doesn't even do that. Like, he'll be sick. He'll actually sick. He doesn't have his own theme song. I don't think my 9-year-old can put his head up his own ass that far. That's probably why. That's probably why. Got fresh air. Oh. I'm sitting in the fucking shower thinking about shrew. Oh. That's nasty. I'm just messing.
If he is. So no one has to go through this again. So no one has to, give out of the goodness of their heart to find out they're being lied to of where the money is going. I didn't give G-Man permission to move all these people in this house. I thought it was only going to be him.
So, probably next episode 7 or 8, I'm going to find the videos where G-Man's he's just kind of doing his own thing in the house like this, so you guys will get a glimpse of how he was enjoying his time. But at some point, he invited Ken Jones over, his buddy, his longtime friend Ken Jones, which is not very strange. I bring Xavier over here and he comes to eat my fucking food. But G-Man invited his whole fucking family over. G-Man, and Pookie and them. G-Man has like 20 fucking siblings, if y'all didn't know that. And so they all wanted to come and see this house that he got. And you'll hear Gman reference his family later in all of this mess, because they get quite upset too. Now, I have to ask, you have that many siblings. Not one of them motherfuckers said, hey, did you sign a lease for this? You know, how much did this cost you? No, not one of them thought that this was strange. So, like, of all these people, because that's who Shanny's talking about, all these people, his family members that came by, none of them said anything. The first thing my mother would go, oh, how much you pay for this? Well, what do you mean you got this for free? Boy, is you a fool? Who gives you a whole house? How the hell you do something like that? Is that not my mother though? That's my mother. My mother would have said, what the hell's going on here? And so my brother would have went, what? So, you know, they would have started asking questions. But none of them were smart enough to point out how stupid this scenario is. And that it doesn't bode well. But of course, it's G-Man. And I don't think that his family is that far away from him as far as intelligence. But I don't know. They may be some good people. I would imagine the ones that stay far away from him are probably the smarter ones. Yes, that is from the meetup. Some of y'all have not seen. This is a stage photo. He wanted me to do this. I realize now why he wanted me to keep putting my hands on him. But yeah, let me blow this up. I see people asking about it. This photo is staged. He wanted me to do wrestling moves on him. You can probably figure out why. But yes, if you didn't know, I am lifting him up to my height. If you did not know the size comparison between us, and you were not sure, I can wrap my hand around his neck quite easily, as you can see there. So, if you were not sure on the actual size comparison, so when I hear him talking shit, I have to laugh because I was actually choking him, if you can't tell.
Freedom! Freedom!
My Ron, your Ron. G-Man does own stuff. He has a lion mask and a bike.
Yep. I don't know where he got that lion suit from. That's just weird. But when he talks about people respecting him when they meet him in person, there's a lot of respect here. Oh, a whole lot of respect. I'm squeezing the respect out of him. It's just dripping out of every orifice right now. Actually, I'm not sure what's happening to any of his orifices. I really wasn't caring. I was enjoying the fuck out of that and just throwing them on the ground. That was cathartic for me. It was cathartic. So, you know, I can't say I didn't enjoy that. I did. It's choking the fuck out of him. I enjoyed it a bit too much. Admittedly, enjoyed it too much. I think we did 3 or 4 takes of this because the first time I was just like, whatever, you're annoying, and I just kind of soft picked him up and just kind of tossed him. But he really wanted me to like throw him down on the concrete. It's like, all right. This stage, yeah, Superman's about. Yeah, no, G-Man was hoping for rough foreplay. That's probably what he was actually hoping for. I don't know. But like he said, he wanted me to choke him and throw. All right, bro.
Freedom! Freedom!
Didn't members of his family help him break into the safe? A free house is basically just a really big safe that he can sleep in.
Well, I think that there's 3 versions of the story. In one version, his dad helps him, and the other version, his brother helps him. So because I think in one of the versions, he also says that some of the family members didn't want anything to do with it. So, some of them were smart enough to say, yeah, that looks a little suspect. Let me not get involved in that. But G-Man, being the person of unscrupulous character, you could kind of, yeah.
Freedom!
Is the Bible talking about Shanny when describing Behemoth?
Maybe.
Give him permission to do any of this stuff. He did all this stuff without my permission. He moved my house without my permission. Broke in my house without my permission.
Now it's her house
He
again.
called me up. Hey, Shannon, I'm in your house. I broke in it. What? I should have called the police then. But I didn't because I was stupid.
You have to ask why Gman thinks breaking in houses is cool.
House and break in their house.
Oh, that was the other thing I was gonna. So, Gman contests a few of these claims. Now, he did acknowledge that he did break in the house. That's something that. But the circumstances for him breaking in were such that Gman took it upon himself to go to the house and start to claim it for himself, and he needed the help of a neighbor to break in the house to get the implement. And supposedly Shannon was on the phone saying, yeah, he can get in the house. We didn't give him a key, whatever. I believe Gman's version of events because it'd be odd for him to break in the house in Scranton, Pennsylvania and not get arrested, especially as a black man. I'm more inclined to believe Gman on this one. But Shannon seems to leave that part out. And so that's really suspect. Really, really suspect on her. Now, the other issue that she brought up was that Gman was doing work on the house and never had permission. Now, I find that really strange because we actually looked up the permits on the house, and I think it was Vincent Jones that looked it up and verified that there was a permit to do roof work on the house. Shanny didn't do that, and it was in the same time frame that Gman said he was working on the house. So I find it strange that Gman didn't communicate that at all, and somehow was able to get a permit to do that. And so Vincent said, I made a call to the city clerk. Yeah, so Vince actually called the city clerk and verified that there was a permit to do roof work. So I'm not sure whether Shanny forgot or she's just bullshitting, but that is anybody can call and look it up now. So that was an actual thing. So that's why I say that both of these parties involved are very unreliable. Gman, habitual liar, Shanny, habitual liar, and both of them have unscrupulous characters. So it's trying to piece everything together is actually quite difficult when you have people who willingly lie to cover their own ass.
Who the fuck does that? And then they say they're a believer in Christ and they're breaking in someone's house?
Only peasants drink water.
Let the house be condemned. Let the state take the house. I'd rather have the state have the house than you. You don't deserve it. You're a bad steward. You're a liar, too. And a thief. Because you're told you don't belong there. You're told it's not yours. But you continue to stealing. You continue taking what you were told is not yours. You are in high treason with the Lord. High treason.
This happened on the 25th. She had not called the police by then. By the 27th or 28th, she had called the police.
Bite me and bite me and bite me. Are you that fucking mad in your head? I didn't hurt anyone.
Freedom!
Gman later said Shanny kicked him out of the house because Shanny wanted the chocolate. And Gman didn't accept that indecent proposal. Imagine that face vomiting.
Yeah, was that one of the stories that he told? I think he said that when he was doing his rants. He was talking about her underwear being everywhere. I'm not sure how true that was. I'm not sure how true that one was. But Gman came up with a lot of ideas as to why he got kicked out of the house, other than the reason that she gave him.
I don't try to hurt anyone. I try to keep to myself, and I try to leave people alone.
Okay, we all know that that's bullshit.
I do my best to leave people alone. Oh, and here's what's really hilarious. Gman honestly has this thought in his head that me and Drag are working together. And it's all Drag's idea of this happening. No, Gman, it's you needing to take responsibility as a man. That's what it is.
Okay, now Shani is overtly telling him that he's coming up with a conspiracy to implicate me into this. You guys heard him doing that in the other video. This is part 6. In part 4, you heard a little bit of it. In part 5, you definitely heard G-Man implicate me. Right? Shani's telling him that this has nothing to do with me whatsoever. And this is one of those instances where I say, look, even when the issue is quite clear, the players and all the parts and pieces are such that there's no illusions about anything. But this delusional motherfucker has to find a way to work in his conspiracy that I have some type of Sith powers where I have mind control over people. This is where the shit comes from. Even where Shani is telling him, right here, I have nothing to do with this. I'm laughing at this because it's stupid. It's absolutely asinine. But he can't accept that. I do live rent-free in his fucking head. I do. I know that. You all know that. He cannot disabuse himself of that. But here, it's clear as day. Clear as fucking day. That I have nothing to do with this. But he's going to find a way. And you guys will see later, maybe in part 8 or 9 or wherever, that he has a full-fledged conspiracy. No actual evidence. He keeps claiming now that he has an email. You ask him to show you the email, he can't show it to you. You ask him where the email address is from, he can't tell you the email address. He can't tell you anything about this secret evidence. You probably heard this before. G-Man fabricated it. G-Man's lying again. As he always does. But you can see how he's starting to piece things together and insert me even where there's no indication that I am involved.
You becoming a fucking man.
Oh, and I will show you later where G-Man planned to quit his job and planned for me to pay his bills. Drag, how do you know that? He literally says it in the fucking video prior to him getting fired. He literally talks about it in an entire video that he's planning on getting fired. And that if he does lose his job or quits, I will have to pay his bills. Around the same time Shani was paying his bills. Funny that, huh? A month later, he magically loses his job and then moves to Scranton. Almost as if he planned this bullshit. Almost as if he was trying to grift more people. Around the same time, True Empiricism and other people were sharing his PayPal, telling other people that the atheist cost him his job. It's almost as if it was planned.
And not living off a burnt out female who's tired of fucking men. I'm tired of it. But no, you go on your channel and you make me look to be something I'm totally not, while you're thieving from me, while you're stealing from me. That's what the most horrible thing is. This dude is a fucking thief and stealing in my home and living in my home when I told him he doesn't belong there. When he broke out and invited himself in that house without even my permission, without even Rev's permission. Rev can't even make decisions for himself at this moment. What?
Now, did you catch that? Rev can't even make decisions for himself. This is disconcerting. This right here is disconcerting because previously, a few people had publicly said, much to Shani's chagrin, it's interesting, Shani, that you're talking about how indisposed Rev is, and he can't make decisions for himself, but you're still having sex with him. How can he consent if he can't make decisions for himself, and you're having sex with him? There's a word for that, Shani. People brought that up. People brought that up to her, and she was pissed because of the implications there. And it is. I can say, well, I married my wife. That gives me full permission to do whatever I want, whether she verbally consents or not. Don't know about that. There's actually some laws against that in the 90s that were passed on which you can and can't do to your spouse as far as the boudoir. So that's something that people have brought up to Shani now, because she denied that. She wanted to play, well, Rev's a victim, Rev's indisposed, I have to take care of him. But he can consent enough to say, you know, what I'm doing to him. You know, I was like, that's a fine line. Very fine line there. But so here he can't make decisions at all. So now that those allegations aren't currently swarming around her, she can play the Rev victim card to her advantage. Really interesting to hear that. Rev is a man who can't say no. He can't. According to Shani, he can't make decisions. If you can't make a decision, how can you consent to anything? To giving a house? To fucking what? Nothing. If you can't make decisions. Maybe I don't understand the context of what she's saying here. But you would need to consent to sex, and consent comes in the form of making a decision whether or not you want to have sex with that person, or at all. So, how does that work? Maybe there's some type of mental gymnastics I need to do. But this is something that was brought up to Shani before, and she vehemently denied it. Now, all of a sudden, well, things are different.
What makes you think he could give a decision of giving someone a fucking house? I don't have power of attorney over Rev either. You were just offered the house. You were offered it. I didn't give you permission to move in there. And I should have called the police a lot longer when you broke in my house.
My house.
But I didn't, because I was like, oh, he's a brother in Christ, blah, blah, blah. And I was stupid. I regret it. I regret it big time. Because even though the money doesn't matter, it's the principle.
It's the principle.
I'm glad it happened, because it really does show.
You don't play with big worm money.
What Gman's true nature is, and what he truly is after, and that is about the money.
Really,
Shani?
Shani?
Shows how greedy he is,
Uh-huh.
and how irresponsible he is
Uh-huh.
with people's things.
Is he now?
He takes advantage of people's things, and he takes advantage of Christians' good nature.
Really?
To take advantage of them.
What? G-Man? No.
And it's always these like big time like YouTubers. I'm just saying. Like
Mind you, this was a month after G-Man was diverting funds away from Faithful to God.
I don't know how else to put it other than he's in high treason. I don't know how else anyone could think differently other than him being in high treason with God at this moment. He's not welcome.
That BKV in the chat.
His feet off, plain and simple.
When you coming back to Houston, man?
He's not welcome, and he's taken what doesn't belong to him at the moment. I told him to get out. I told him he doesn't belong there. He should be doing the Christian thing first. He should be doing the Christian walk. But instead, he wants to do the man walk. He wants to do the flesh walk. It shows his
the
true
flesh
spirit.
walk.
It shows you who he truly is and who he truly belongs to. And like I said, Dragnauct and all your friends, you have full permission to put this on all your channels.
Thank you.
Any Christian who wants to put this on your channel, Please do. He needs to be exposed for the charlatan and con
Again, Shanny giving me permission to do all this stuff, but now she's upset that I'm doing it.
artist he is. I didn't go. And here's the thing. He's trying.
Yeah, Puffalophagus, thank you for, because I was wondering that myself. Is that good? I think that's good. That is Gucci, isn't it? She's wearing a Gucci fucking, what is that, a hoodie? What, I don't know what the fuck, I don't wear Gucci. But that is a Gucci fucking hoodie she has on.
To use this little thought that I just want to get free work on the house. I could give a damn about the house. The house was being condemned when he broke in the house.
It's kind of sad. So when Texas and G start wearing masks, okay, yeah, no, fair enough. When you let me know when you're heading back down here, me, you, and Xavier and Frustrate, and I'll get together and go out and eat.
The house was in disrepair. We knew we didn't want to live there anymore. We wanted a better life. We wanted to move on with our lives. We didn't want to deal with old, dead memories. Rev wanted to move on with his life. He wanted to quit alcohol, and he wanted to quit alcohol in a place where it's beautiful and it's clean and he feels safe and he's away from old temptations. So we set an agreement of moving out here and getting him off the booze, and it's been successful. 6 months without alcohol. That is a blessing from Jesus Christ.
6 months cold turkey.
And I've been taking care of him and helping him recover the whole time. Now, people like to turn it around and say it's me taking advantage of him and his money. No, absolutely not. I was with Rev before he quit alcohol. Before he got into recovery. I was with him when he was at his very worst. My intention of going to PA was to help him to get off the booze. Because I loved him and cherished him. He was my best friend for years before we got romantically involved.
Mind you, she was actually courting like 3 different guys when she broke up with Safety Odd. I mean, she can claim that like he was the one and shit like that, but you can actually go to Fundy Archive and see all the videos where she was trying to suck Positively Godless's dick and court Rev and say Gman's her boyfriend like within a week of one another. Like these videos were not, it wasn't let me go after Scott, you know, on the beginning of the month, and then 2 months later, that didn't work out, so let me try G. No, she was saying all this shit in the same time to different guys. And evidently there was another guy, X, that she was talking to at the same time. So it was process of elimination, right? It was like a multiple choice test, and Rev just so happened to be the best answer here. So I don't think that that's accurate, but that's my depiction of events. I could be wrong. It's been a very long time since I looked at it, but, you know, we can review that.
We talked a lot together. It wasn't anything sexual. It was all spiritual.
That is also a lie.
That is my spiritual brother. And now my husband. I owe this man my life. So anyone who ever wants to say
Got a little slappy with my spirit animal. I mean, my spirit mate.
Wrong. Because I owe this man my life. He gave me everything when I lost everything. And he helped me get out of really bad situations.
With donations.
You know? Really bad situations. And I helped him also out of a really bad situation.
Told him to quit alcohol cold turkey after being an alcoholic for years.
Bitch. And he suffered really hard from it, but he survived. And he's recovering, and he's doing so amazing. Like today, I was so proud of him today. he started like discovering the house. I know it's kind of weird saying, but
Talks about him like he's a cat.
I don't think I'm in high treason with God, but I think I definitely fall under the category of insubordination.
Nope, God hates you, Bill Kennedy. High treason for you.
it was almost like seeing someone come alive again, and he was looking at things and being like, oh, when did we get this? Oh, when did we get this? You know? And it was so beautiful seeing him actually living again and not just existing like he has for so long. And I hope this trend of him wanting to research and look at things and
Right, so this is around the time where Rev became a bit more lucid. Mind you, before this, he had been pretty much a vegetable. And he's not like the Rev that you all see now. Not at all. He's not interactive and making videos and engaging. He was the guy sitting on the couch or laying on the recliner and just kind of mumbling to himself incoherently. So now that she has a new house cat, which is Rev, she's enjoying that this house cat is becoming cognizant of its surroundings. So anyway, enough of that. So I want to go to, where is the video? Is this it? Oh. Okay, this is it. All right. So these videos are out of order, by the way. That's why I keep getting confused. I want to say, did I do I Will Not Be Bought? I don't think I did. Cause this, wait, hold on. Give me just a second, because I have them both side by side. Okay, yeah. All right, so this is on the 27th, right? So I don't know if you can, you guys can see it. Okay, so this is on the 27th. It says, I will not be bought. And what Shani did here, Gman's in high treason. So she did this video, and then Gman then goes, 27th, I will not be bought. And he is quite upset with how Shani is depicting things, and quite overtly pointing out that, well, shit, you can't bribe me into doing things because of these gifts. Now, it's interesting because that's in direct opposition to what G-Man's doing now, which he is a complete Shani stan because she's donating to him, right? That's what's happening now, and it's quite obvious now. It's not even hidden. But where is me? I'll actually just show you. This with channels. Go GTV Network.
Oh man.
And let's just look at the community tab here. Shani for Christ has defended atheists on the internet for as long as I've known her. She isn't perfect, none of us are. How is she repaid? With laughing and teasing. Christians, stop defending these atheists and expose them. They only use people. Really? That's interesting. G-Man won't be bought, but here he is being a complete Shani stan and pointing out this is how we are to repay Shani. What are we to repay her for? What is Shani? We owe Shani something? We owe Shani? Oh, I didn't know that I owed Shani anything. Not a goddamn thing. And where's the other one? Oh, this is talking about debates and shit like that. Oh, I agree. I guess 10 billion% with Shani in this video. She's spot on. Yeah, more standing for Shani. Oh, this is my time is valuable. You got to pay me. And then Shani's in the comment section. Yeah, brother G-Man. Yep. G-Man better than everyone else, even though it looks like he's getting a little fat here. G-Man gained a little bit of weight, my man. Better watch out. You're breathing hard going to your... Oh, wait, you don't have a car. I think there is another one, Block the Trolls. This was in response to Shani. Him watching Shani's live stream, her blocking everyone here. It's about parenting, irony. Him talking about me. And then voting to unblock people. He actually had 2 votes, it looks like. So, it's interesting that the guy who is now pretty much bought saying that he won't be bought.
Hello, everyone. Welcome to another edition of Preaching to the Choir Ministries. I think this is Preaching to the Choir Ministries. Let me just check here real quick. Sometimes I'll be logged into another account and I'll forget what account that I'm in. Let me just see real quick where I'm at. I could just went to that contact. Preaching to the Choir Ministries. Okay. Again, everyone, hello. Welcome to another edition of Preaching to the Choir Ministries.
What's going on, Shao?
That talks about the lies of the last days that causes people to fall away from the faith and Jesus Christ. Just want to talk about a couple of things here. I've been watching some videos online, and particularly this video is really directed towards Brett Keane. It's really not directed towards anyone else, really. But Brett, I'm a little disappointed, sir. You that story that you told in your channel was a really interesting story about what happened to my job and everything and whatnot, and then what happened after I lost my job. That's a really interesting story that you told, Brett. That ain't what happened. That ain't what happened at all.
Okay, no, I did show you guys this one. I just want to make sure. Yeah. So, it was the other one. Shani knows what she is doing. This was also on the 24th, right after the ship blew up. Actually, let me...
Would try to control me if I tried to do the PayPal thingy, which I only specifically do on the G podcast, which I won't be doing again for another 2 to 3 months or whatever. You know what I mean? But it's funny. So why would it makes me think about a lot of things. It's like, why would somebody want me to have a PayPal account? It has to be so that when they give, they can try to control you, the content that's on your channel, and the things that you're saying. So what I'm going to do.
Wait, why would somebody give him a PayPal account?
Unless I'm doing a fundraiser, I'm no longer going to bring up the PayPal thingy up no more. I'm not going to accept any blessings from anybody here on the internet. I don't care if you're an atheist or a Christian. I don't want nothing from nobody on here no more, because I'm noticing that that people are not giving for the right reasons. The Bible says that God loves a cheerful giver. And 2 Corinthians, Scripture talks about giving sacrificially and how God loves a cheerful giver. But apparently there's some people on here who give for the sole purpose of trying to control you. That is not godly. That is of the devil. That is not of Jesus Christ. So you ain't got to worry about the PayPal thingy no more when it comes to the G podcast. When I do my G podcast again, there will not be a link in the description, and no one's going to be able to give. And I'm glad this is actually going on so that people can understand.
Now, we all know that that's a lie. That link, and actually just the other day he was telling people to go donate to him using Cash App instead of PayPal because he can't get on PayPal anymore.
And when you get on here, just do what you're doing for free. Don't even bother with the PayPal thing and whatnot. But I'm gonna tell you something else. How this is gonna affect me. These fundraisers I do for people, no more of those. Absolutely none. And I don't care if it's for a Christian or an atheist. I'm not doing them no more because I see how people are here online. They only do things for you on here to try to control you. When I do an act of generosity or act of kindness to somebody on here, I do it and I try to forget about doing it. I don't bring it up.
That's also a lie. In fact, he mentions as a retort to me pointing out him trying to divert funds from Faithful God that he's done multiple fundraisers on here. In fact, there was a whole hangout where he said that the fundraiser he did for Gus Belanger was a scam. How many times did he mention the fundraisers he did for Sister Cherry when her house burned down? Or the fundraiser for Eve, or fundraiser for whoever? He mentions it all the time. These are lies by Gman. These are overt lies.
You understand? I don't like to share.
Let me know if my sound is a bit better.
I don't tell other people what I'm doing because I understand that I have a reward.
Doesn't tell other people what he's doing.
That I'm going to get that is not gonna that can't be taken away from me by demons and devils and whatnot. So my advice to a lot of Christians on here, if you've been doing what you've been doing on here for free, keep doing it. If somebody want to give, you can put a PayPal link on your Skype or something like that. And if somebody wants to give to you, make them work to find your PayPal and then let them give it to you that way. But me personally, that's it with the PayPal. I'm not doing it no more, but it's going to negatively hurt some people, because if my channel ever gets like 50,000 or 75,000 or 100,000 subscribers, and I get like 5,000 people watching my show, I'm just not doing no fundraisers for nobody. I refuse to, for this very reason. You know what I mean? I don't believe. See, here's the thing. Let's see if I can find one. I don't even know if I got a dollar in here. Okay, you guys gotta forgive me. I don't have $10 in here. Hold on one second, guys. Hold on. Let me get my wallet. Even though I'm nothing in it. Give me a second.
Weird that he says that, and I just went to his channel. Look what's here. PayPal.me.
Oh, Lord. I don't even got a dollar.
It's so weird.
Anyway, so listen, I don't even got a dollar to use as an example, because I spent all my money on all of this and whatnot. Because if I told you guys the condition of this place when I first came here, anyway, so.
You know what's also weird? If you click on this link that's still on Gman's main channel here, look at the location. Scranton, PA. Interesting. Real interesting. Just saying. I mean, maybe he simply forgot and just left it up there. Maybe, you know what? It wouldn't be in his channel on any of his videos, right? Let me just double check, okay? I'm not seeing it here. So, you know, maybe he just took it down and he forgot to take that one down. Maybe that's it. Maybe that's it. Who knows? Who knows? But, I don't know. You give him the benefit of the doubt.
I don't even got
I don't think he can access that PayPal anymore, though. So that may be the one that he no longer has access to. The link is still up there.
Let me see something. All right. Here we go. There's a quarter. Oh, I'll be glad when Friday get here. Anyway, so like you guys don't understand. I owe contractors close to $25,000. You guys just don't know. I'm not worried about what she has to say about me being evicted or whatever, because I'm telling you, if I go to court, I'm gonna make her cry. You guys just don't know. All right. So
he owes contractors.
This is not my. I normally like to use $1 or something like that, guys, but I'm not working right now. Anyway, so look, this right here is not my God. You understand what I'm saying? This is not Jesus Christ. It did not die for me. Okay, this did not die for me. You're not gonna get on here 1 minute and say money don't bring happiness, and then try to hold it over somebody's head and try to do some illegal activity with them. I got a lot of things going through my head. I got suspicions. I'm asking myself, why did she give me this house to begin with? Well, she didn't give me anything. Why did Jason give them? Why did Rev give me this to begin with?
So this is the fun part here. This is what I love. If you find this scenario in any Gman video, you have gotten to the core of the hilarity. This is where the Lulz cow makes its meat, or I should say the Lulz cow produces its milk. I think that's a more apt description. Because he has to now find a way to make himself just no longer culpable for anything. This is what he's doing at this point. Because if you listen to what he's saying here, why did she give me this house? It's not, how did I get in this situation? Because if you're in trouble, if you run into trouble with the law, you have an issue with a friend, you run into a problem at work, everybody stops and asks themselves, how the hell did I get here? What happened? What events transpired to get me from where I was this morning to where I am now? Gman does not have that sort of thought process at all. There is no introspection what's at any point in time for him. The thing that he goes to is incredibly childish and immature. Let me see how I can blame somebody else for what's happening to me. Let me absolve myself from literally any responsibility in the events that have happened currently. And so when you hear him go through this and you see him trying to work the G thought processes, you'll notice that there's a distinct lack of self-awareness. That's where the enablers come in. That's where people like Spoken, people like Veckel come in, where they also absolve him from any responsibility. Because it doesn't matter what you get into in life. You had some type of input at some point in time. If you got up and walked out of your door, that contributed to you getting bit by mosquitoes. If mosquitoes came to you, absolutely, but your ass had to go outside. There's some responsibility somewhere. G-Man reserves the right to have zero. None. And it's amazing to watch. It's even funnier to watch the enablers try and work through the G processes as well to absolve him, because they're idiots. It's always fun to see idiots try and be clever. But for G-Man, he works overtime. And this right here is where the plots start. This is where the conspiracies get concocted. That it must be Dragnauct's evil Sith powers influencing Shanny over the internet. The power of persuasion that caused all this to happen. It's not me. No, it's not G-Man. Not at all. It has nothing to... I am a damn near perfect individual. There's nothing that I could have done better. At all. Ever. There's no missteps on my part. It's all everybody else's fault.
You know what I mean? And I told several other people in here when I meet them in person. They think I'd be lying. I'm like, I don't trust nobody when I meet them. I don't trust nobody. That has to be earned. I think the only person I think I've met in person who as a matter of fact, there's been a couple of them actually, come to think about it. But I would say from the Christian side that I've trusted like without worrying about anything is Leader for Christ. I've met her. And she gave me no reason whatsoever to be untrustworthy with her or whatever. You know what I mean? But and there's an agnostic on here that I met. A lot of you know her as Hannah Zubby. I met her. I didn't have a problem with her in the beginning. You know what I mean? I met another guy called the Drunken Atheist. And I was uncomfortable with him for a little bit, but he was so down to earth, I was able to get along with him too. But that was early on in my...
So these tenuous relationships rely a lot on people doing things for G-Man. And you'll notice that when he talks about like the dissolution of any relationship, it has to do with betrayal. It's not that, we just kind of grew apart. Yeah, you know what? I found out that me and this other person, we really don't gel real well with each other. It's never anything like that. It's never anything amicable. And that's something I look out for too in other people that I meet, where they talk about their past friendships or connections, and it's always something deep-rooted and hateful, like Redline. So that tells me that there's something wrong with you. It's not the other person. Not every person that you meet in the world, out in your travels, is some backstabbing, belligerent, just evil individual that's trying to somehow spite you just for the sake of it. There's probably something wrong with you as a person. It's more than likely the case, and that has been the case. There have been people that I've met online, that I've met in person and hung out with more than once, and that, you know what? They're going somewhere else in life, and it's not anything tumultuous. It's not anything that is really contentious at all. And you guys don't even hear about it because it's that mundane. But for G-Man and other people, there's always some plot. There's always some type of betrayal involved. No. The reality of the situation is that G-Man is a user and an abuser. And that his relationships with people depend solely on you inflating his ego, you paying for his stuff, and you being available for his whims at his beck and call. That's what those relationships depend on. There's a reason he had to go to New York to go hang out with Hannah and go hang out with Nate to go do things like watch a movie. Why would you need to travel from New Jersey to New York to do something like that? He doesn't really have any friends in his area because he can't form genuine bonds with people that depend on empathy and common interests. It's dependent solely upon what you can do for Gman. He is an absolute user.
My career and whatnot here on YouTube, but not very trusting when it comes to people, man. You know you got to be careful when you go around trusting human beings, because these people will let you down. Human beings will let you down. Nothing good about trusting human beings at all. And even if all of this gets resolved later, I'm not changing my tone about this because this is proof positive of what I'm talking about. Give me a second here, guys. I'm trying to find this video because I can't see my my live chat for some reason. I want to know who's leaving comments. I was supposed to be getting ready for a Google Hangout with the Hebrew Israelites today. I'm still going to have to do that. And I got to make sure I'm mentally prepared for that. Because before I can get into one of these Google Hangouts, I have to have a certain mindset before I can come in here and defend the Word of God, because it's not always easy. People think I get on here, you know what I mean, and I got this red cape and this blue costume on with a big S on and whatnot, and that I'm super Christian and whatnot. But nah, you got to be mentally prepared for these kind of things. You know what I mean? At the end of the day, I'm going to see what happens. Again, I made it public a couple of times that my phone is off, and that I will... Chili Pasta, I'm not giving you a link because this is a live show. This is not a hangout. I can't give you a link. This is a YouTube webcam, so this is not me giving you a link. And plus, I don't want to talk to nobody about this. So... I have to make
that's
some
why
decisions,
he's live talking about it
soon regarding some things. So, but if I do, like I said, I'm going to be compensated. I'm going to be compensated a lot. That is a promise. So,
spoiler alert: he was never compensated.
So, I don't like the idea of a. See, here's the thing. A lot of you guys don't know this, but I was offered a pastorship at a church one time. This is before I got on YouTube or whatever. My bishop at the time was thinking about making me into a pastor of this small church that we had over there in Paterson, New Jersey. And I left that church. I ran from that because I believe that every time that somebody's trying to give me something, that they're trying to give it to me to try to control me. And I know I say a lot of unpopular things.
Now I want y'all to think about that for a second. Think about what he just said. When people try to give him things, if he genuinely believed that, if he honestly believed that, why would he go and rush to a house that he had not signed any paperwork for, based simply on the offer alone? If he genuinely believed that, why would he let Shanny pay for him since September of the previous year? That's really strange. If you literally thought that, and that's what you live by, why would you continuously tell people that they can donate to you on your channel for your ministry? That's so weird, and that's why I don't believe when he says shit like this, because his actions show you that that's bullshit. That's absolute bullshit. He's lying. Again, I know that doesn't surprise any of you, but that's bullshit. He wouldn't have accepted the fucking house if he believed that.
I try to stand up for what I believe this thing actually, for what the Bible actually teaches us. And in order for me to do that, I have to make sure that I'm in a position where I can be rebuked and corrected by my brethren in Christ,
and where
reverends,
they can't put me in a position where, oh, if you keep preaching sound doctrine, we're going to have to take this away from you. I don't care. Take it. Still going to preach what I'm preaching. It's not going to stop me.
Yeah, just like he was placed in a position where he was rebuked by the guys in Shield Squad and SOG. So you see how well that worked out, didn't it? Oh, wait, he got kicked out of the group. Well, if you are trying to put yourself in that position, G-Man, to be rebuked and corrected by brothers, you would have never been kicked out of the group now, would you? Again, your actions speak louder than your words. We can look at the history of you on your what you call your YouTube career and see that that's full of shit. You're lying about not accepting gifts for people to control you, and you're lying about allowing the brethren to rebuke and correct you. You just lie. All that happened within the last 6 months of you making this video on January 24th, 2019. All of that was a lie. Every last bit of that was a lie.
Like I'm not joking around when I say things like Jesus was faithful unto the end. If let's say, for example, this happens. Let's say I'm thrown out in the street.
Oh, some of y'all are mentioning that. I guess some of y'all are realizing that he's incredibly paranoid. Throughout the time that we were spending with him in New York, as we'd be waiting in line and, just trying to get into the museum, for instance, he would quite loudly exclaim that he's surprised that none of us have dragged him into an alleyway and killed him. And at first, myself and a few others thought that he was just joking, right? Okay, yeah, we talk about that. But he kept talking about it throughout the day. He kept coming up with different ways that we could possibly kill him. Like kicking him into traffic. That was a common one. And I had to stop him and say, what the fuck is wrong with you? Why, there are kids here. Why are you talking about that? I'm just saying, I don't know anything about you atheists. I said, if you're that so fucking scared that something's going to happen to you, then take your dumb ass home. Because we're trying to have a good time. And all this paranoid, stupid bullshit that you get, that's not cool. Right? Why? Like, I see why you don't have any friends. And that's what's also funny. He says that people show him respect. I showed him as much respect as I could muster. But I couldn't stand that shit because that kills vibes. Yeah, everyone's trying to have a good time, and that's all he could talk about is how people were going to kill him. When I say people, myself and other people are standing less than 2 feet away from him, or can possibly kill him by trying to poison him, or trying to beat him in an alley, or shoot him in the head, or kick him into traffic. These are things that he actually said. He actually said these things out loud, quite loudly, when there's children around. So this is a constant thing with him. He always thinks that. But he thinks that he's normal. He thinks that everyone thinks like, no, I don't. And not at all. Not at all. But this is the weird world that he lives in. This is one of the reasons why he stays up at night. This is why I live rent-free in his fucking head. Because these things constantly haunt him. And he can't disabuse himself. He won't. He thinks that this is normal for a follower of Christ, I want to put that in air quotes, to think like this. He honestly believes that. He needs to be a victim at all times.
And I'm sleeping in the snow, and then I die. Right? And let's say I die or whatever. What does that do to what does that do to her ministry? How does that make her look? How does it make the church look as a whole?
Look, he's a martyr. Shannon kicking him out, he becomes a martyr. He's concerned with how that's going to make her look on the internet. This should tell you the mindset of this person here. And yes, there are parts of the trip that are recorded. There's an arm wrestling match between me and Gman because he wanted to touch me. There's a video up on Patreon, and channel members, they have access to it as well. A 2-part video that involves, me and him play fighting because, again, he wanted to touch me. There's a few videos out. There's one on JD Kane's channel, Talking Shit Tuesday, of the chess match. There's a few other things. But, like, a lot of this stuff is really sorted, but it's hard to be around him. Oh, and the picture in the top right, that's also... So, the paranoia shit happened after these photos were taken. The one where I'm choking him, I'm about to choke slam him. So... That's all around the same time frame. Probably happened less than an hour after I was chokeslamming his ass. Again, something that he wanted, because I told him to go fuck off. Black Guy TV says he thinks everyone has gay thoughts as well. Yes, yeah, he does. And it's like, no, bro. No, that's you. That's you.
You understand what I'm saying? So, stuff like that, is just bare foolishness. I think that was all done for attention, because you can't sit there in 1 minute on the one hand and tell me that you're getting away from drama, you're going to do this, that, and the other and whatnot, and then create it, go to your YouTube channel and act like you didn't say anything. And I'm going to tell you something about me. Normally, Shani has the power to moderate my YouTube channel. I'm taking away that power from her. I'm not going to allow... Ready? One thing about me is I'm a very... This is the video, by the way. Very serious person when it comes to my faith. I don't play no games. I don't play. I do not play.
He do not play.
I'm going to have to go later on. I'm going to have to suspend her moderation controls. I don't care if she takes away my moderation controls, because what's going to ultimately happen is this. And this is why people need to learn how to think long term.
Yeah, like, so thinking long term. So let's think about that for a second. The person who was paying you since last September, so September 2018, the person who's been giving you money consistently offers you a house, you slap happy, you get up, you go, and you decide that you want to go stay in the house before you get any rental agreement, any lease agreement. No, you have nothing in writing, right? But you're thinking long term, and you refuse to get a job until you get the rental or lease agreement that you couldn't wait on in the first place, and this person is still supplying you with your only source of income. But you're thinking long term. You ultimately get kicked out the fucking house and have to beg people on the internet for money so you can have a place to stay, but you thought long term. So this arrangement that you had with Shani worked out long term for you, did it? It did not. It didn't last more than a few months. So good job. Good fucking job. If you were thinking long term, you'd still have the house. I wouldn't have these videos. So good thing. Bravo, G-Man. Thank you for showing everyone how great your long-term thinking is. I'm not going to play that video. That video is for channel members and patrons only. Sorry. Not that one. Not that one.
That four-eyed overweight buffoon over there named who's a leader and the God and Savior of these dragoons, the people that they get on their knees and they worship, and they ask his permission to whose channels they can go to whom they have to get his advice on how to deal with certain people. These same people who claim that they don't got a God and they're worshiping him over there. He's gonna have a lot of fun with all of this. And she initiated it, not me. She initiated it.
Well, G-Man already knew I was going to have fun with this.
She initiated it, not me. So now I'm going to publicly ask this question. Why was this gift given to me?
Why was this gift given to him?
What I can do and what I can't do on my YouTube channel? Because everybody sees why you made your video. You don't give something to somebody so you can be like, well, now that we got him where we want him, he can't talk about this no more. He can't talk about this no more. He can't talk about this. What? No. It ain't going to work like that. And this is a warning. I better never see my personal information on here again. If nobody learned nothing from this past summer, okay, it will happen again. Do not play with me.
So what he's referring to is what we call the summer of G-Man, where I was doing exactly what the fuck I'm doing now. He got really pissed off and started doxing people because he was upset. He can try it again if he wants, and it's going to go the same way. He's just going to get pissed off, and we'll get more material, and we're going to laugh at him.
That's why I don't tell you nothing, Shani. Because you don't show me that you're trustworthy. You're real quick with getting on here and just telling everybody what's going on, and everybody, and you don't know how to hold nothing to yourself. Like, you don't know how to hold your own personal information.
Woo, boy, that contradicts a lot of what he's saying now.
You gotta learn how, when somebody tells you something in confidence, to keep it to yourself. How would you like it if I did that right now?
Now, some of the things that Shanny told us around this time was that Gman was lying about losing his job. You could see how that would be upsetting to Gman. Because you notice that if the cat's out of the bag, you mean he might as well just cop to it, right? No. That was one of the things that Shanny told us. And you found it odd that he just randomly mentioned my name, right? It was weird that he just brought me into this. That's one of the things that Shanny told us. He absolutely lied about that. Actually, again, we still have the video where he's setting up the lie. I still have that. I've not played it yet. But that's one of the reasons why he's mad right now. Because Shanny was told in confidence not to tell anybody that he actually quit his job. And then lied, and then had True Empiricism go and pass around his PayPal so people could give him money. So you can imagine how upsetting this is to him.
That if I started getting on here telling people what I know, stop doing that, Shanny. I'm getting sick and tired of telling you this. When I tell you something in private, you keep it in private. It ain't your business to be going around telling everybody what's going on in everybody's life. Now, let me remind you of who I am, all right? I understand you're the old, well, actually, no, technically you're not. But I'll say this, though, all right? And I'm going to say this, without stuttering. You know things about me, and I know things about you. Do not play with me. Go find some other little boy to go play with. Okay? If you gave me this to try to control me, okay? You reimburse me everything that I put into this, and I will leave. No problem whatsoever. I will gladly tell you what you owe me. I have no problem whatsoever. No problem whatsoever.
Now, just as a quick point of clarification, Gman willingly came into the house, didn't have any rental agreement, lease, nothing of that nature. He wanted to work on the house. Shanny said, yeah, fine, whatever, it's yours. And so Shanny is then responsible for what he wanted to put in the house. Okay? Now, there's a hangout that Gman and I sit down and we talk about this. I spent literally half of the conversation just asking him about clarifications to things he's saying now. Then this happened months later. I asked Gman, if you put money into the house, I believe you. I actually do believe you did something to the house. I do. Where are the receipts from the stuff that you bought with your money for the materials, shingles, nails, roofing nail, whatever it was? Where are the receipts so that you can make an itemized list to show to Shanny and Rev and say, here, this is approximately what I spent. He didn't have any of it. I said, okay, so you're just going to make up a number and approximate what you may or may not have spent. And there's no receipts at all. No evidence that you actually did that. Still, not even remotely grasp what I was asking. Because that will require him to be responsible. That's accountability. That's something that Gman doesn't quite grasp and is a foreign concept. If y'all want this screenshot, it's 1834 and Shanny knows what she's doing. But he doesn't have anything. But he wants just to be given a large sum of money and he'll go away.
I know that since you like to brag about all the money that you got. I'm sorry, guys. 1 second here. 1 second. I'll be right back.
I think somebody's at the door knocking.
Again, I am more than happy to take my butt back to New Jersey where I was in the beginning, provided that I'm reimbursed for everything that I put in here, which is well over 20 grand. I have no problem with that. All right? So I owe a whole bunch of contractors monies for coming out here doing work with me to fix your mess here.
Now, you have to ask yourself, now, what contractors are coming out to Scranton, Pennsylvania and working on credit? Because he doesn't have any actual credit cards, so it's not that. And where did he get that number from? How did he have money for materials, much less the contractors? If some of y'all are wondering about all that, we'll find out later who actually came out and what actually happened. Because there's a reason he's just calling them contractors. He's not telling you a business name. He's not giving you any actual numbers that sound reasonable. Well, just $20,000. Well, you can get a roof repaired for around that. My cousin does roof repair, and that's on a small repair. You know, that's not a complete reshingling or anything. But on the low end, 20K is fairly decent. But you have to wonder, well, where did this shit come from in the first place? Keep that, again, this is what I know y'all got to keep a lot of things in mind, but it'll become relevant later.
So I have no problem with that. You made the video public and you want to act like you didn't say nothing? That's fine. Give me a date when I'm supposed to go, a reasonable date where I have time to repack everything, okay? So yeah, you can come back here. Because you're going to have to. Because now I'm going to have to go to the city and let them know that nobody's here. Then when they take a wrecking ball to this place, you're going to see how silly you are. I was in New Jersey minding my business. And number one, Dragoons cost me my job, got on here and bragged about it. Then you got, what's his name, Positively Godless on here.
See, there's that lie again. There's that lie again.
Bragging about making me lose my job. And I'm glad I know it's him. I'm glad I know it's him. Even though I think he's taking up for his leader, his Lord, Master, and Savior. I see, let me tell you something. I'm not looking at PG. I'm looking at one YouTuber and that's Drag. That's it. Everything that's going to come to him is going to him. I ain't thinking about nobody else. It's going to him. I have more than enough evidence to go after him. More than enough.
Like I was telling you guys before, I have nothing. I'm not even involved in any of this stuff. But he stopped his rant against Shanny to remember his blood feud with me. He needs an antagonist. Is that Michael B has become a member. Hey, welcome. Thank you for becoming a member. Check the community tab for the videos and all that good shit. And the secret posts that only you guys can see. Oh, there's another video that's in the works. I'll probably release the new video that's being worked on. Yeah, nobody gives a shit. All right, anyway, wife's home. Y'all have a good ass day. That's it. This is done. That's if you want to watch the last, I don't know, maybe like 10 minutes of this. It's just the same shit. Last 10 minutes. Y'all can go find the actual video. It's The White Whale Cometh, part 6.5, and watch the last 10